What's up traders? Welcome to new trading week. In this video, I'm gonna give a full breakdown and trading plan of hottest currency pairs that we will be looking to trade next week. The currency pairs that we will be analyzing today: gold, NZDCAD, EURCHF, GBPNZD and GBPAUD. At the same time, you can watch my previous 2 weeks analysis. I will put a link above, and also there will be link in the description so that you can have some confidence about my analysis. If this is something interesting to you, then smash the like button for me, and also hit that red subscribe button. Press the bell notification so that you don't miss out any of the content that I released. Also, you can jump onto my website. There is free trading course and also advanced strategies that you might be interested. I will put a link in the description, and also you can see the address in the screen. Before I begin, just a quick disclaimer is that this is my own opinion about the market, and at any point the market may do completely different than what I have analyzed. So make sure you do your own analysis and also manage your risk so that if there is anything wrong, you don't lose your capital. With that, let's begin. So first, let's start with GBPNZD. So GBPNZD, let's start with monthly time frame, because always remember monthly, weekly for the direction, daily 4-hour and lower time frame for the entry, because higher time frame will give you a clear direction in the market. So on the monthly time frame, GBPNZD, if you look at the bigger picture, what we see that GBPNZD is historically in a downtrend. So look at this here. From here, what do we see? That it is a complete downtrending market on the bigger picture. At the same time, if you see that there is a pattern here, so look at this one. There is a big long wick candle on the monthly, and after that what we have seen? A drop. There has been another long wick candle, and then what we have seen? A drop. There has been another long wick candle. Every time it is at the same time creating a lower high and then drop. There has been another long wick candle, and what we can expect? A drop. So on the higher time frame with a lot of confluence is saying that GBPNZD is dropping. Now let's narrow down to last 2 months time frame. Now what we have seen on the previous months, the price has created this red bearish engulfer. Now after this bearish engulfer, what we can expect? Another push to the downside. Now still we have almost 5 days. After in the new week, we will get almost 4-5 days in this month. So what we can expect, because the price is already where it has started, it's in the opening. So what we can expect? A push to the downside and closing back below. Now on the monthly, we are bearish. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what we have. Now on the weekly, what we have? A very important candlestick pattern. Why? Because look at this. First, a big consolidation on the weekly and drop to the downside. Now remember, trading is all about buyers and sellers battle. It's not about indicators or anything else. You always have to see, because it's a virtual marketplace. So you always have to know what is buyers and sellers are doing. In that sense, what we have seen, that look at these 2 red candle and look at this 2 green candle. The 2 red candle represents what? The seller, they are very strong, and 2 green candle represents the buyers who are very weak. So what we can expect as a result? Another drop to the downside. Now at the same time, look at this week's candle, current week, it has created this is a perfect hanging man pattern on a level of resistance. So we can say that this is a level of resistance, and the price has created a strong hanging man pattern on a level of resistance after this drop correction, and then we can expect another drop to the downside because we see this hanging man pattern on this level. So from here straight we can expect a drop. Now going down to the daily time frame to see what kind of trading opportunity we have. Now on the daily, what we have seen, the last day of the trading week, the price gone up and just close below this level, creating a lower high. And at the same time we know that this line is basically the weekly neckline of this hanging man, and this is a very high probability trading setup. Now going down to the further lower time frame on the 4 hour, what we will be doing on the new trading week, basically we will be straight go short from here, and at the same time what we will be doing is we will be waiting for one red candle on the 4 hour before taking our trade. As soon as we will see our red candle, what we will be doing, we will be going short from here. Our stop loss will be above this high, and our take profit will be at least 1 to 2.7, more than 2. This will be our plan on GBPNZD. Now at the same time, I'm telling you, if you take this trade, you must manage your risk, because this is only for educational purpose. You must not take a big risk on this one. Now let's jump on to the next one, which is GBPAUD. Let's start with the monthly time frame. Now same as GBPNZD, GBPAUD as well over the long term in a downtrending market. Look at this chart here. This is a completely downtrending market, creating a lower high with every long week candle it is creating, dropping with a lower high, dropping from here with a lower high, and now from here we can expect another drop to the downside. Now let's go down to the current month. What we have seen on GBPNZD, that this is the current month's candle. Now in this candle we can see a lot of story in it. Let's analyze this month's candle, because it's still 5 days to go. But look at this, what happened. This is the opening of the price, and now the price is here. Okay, so what we can see from here, look at this. First the price from here, the candle opened here and the price came down. Okay, and then from here what happened, the price went up to here, so went up to here. Okay, and from here now what we are seeing, that the price is coming down up to this point. Now this chart can tell you an important story, because when the price, this arrow represents when the price move in one direction, it is started to move. That is what I have seen in Forex. This happen in most cases, it will move. Say what happened when the price opened here, okay, dropped, right? So it dropped to a certain point, and then from here the price started to move up. So it didn't stop here, it actually moved up to the highest of the month here, right? So this is the highest of the month. It basically tested 2 monthly close. After this test, what we have seen, the last arrow, the price is basically dropping down. Now at this point we have still 5 days, another week for this monthly candle. So from here what we can expect, basically slowly down and creating another red candle here. That means this arrow, that what we are seeing in the next week, we can expect like this to the same way to continue. This is a very important concept. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what we have. Now on the weekly, this is a very important structure. Now on the weekly, what we have seen, that GBPAUD has created a head and shoulder pattern. This is a nice head and shoulder pattern. Now look at this head and shoulder pattern. So this is basically a head, this is the left shoulder and the right shoulder. So this is a perfect head and shoulder pattern. At the same time, if you draw a line on the shoulder, you can find an important clue. What is the clue is, look at this. This is the left shoulder and this is the right shoulder. Right shoulder is lower than the left shoulder. This is a very, very important high probability head and shoulder pattern. And also I will put a link here about only head and shoulder pattern, how you can understand a proper head and shoulder pattern, that I have a video separately. I will put a link here, you can watch that how to identify which one is high probability head and shoulder pattern. Now from here, what we can expect in the new week, as we saw in the monthly as well, we can expect the price to drop to the downside. Now let's draw a line here on the weekly close as well, so we can expect from here as well the price to drop. Now another important thing on the weekly, what we can see this is how trading works. You need to find a lot of confluence to see which one is going to happen. Now look at here, there is a long wick candle, right? Okay, and after this long wick candle, what happened? The price retraced to some point and then drop. This is a weekly, so it's a big drop. Now the same thing here, look at this, there is a long wick candle here, one or two, and the price retraced to certain point and then drop. So this is likely to happen everywhere, see? And now what happened here, the same way, there is a long wick candle, the price retraced to somewhere and then we can expect another drop to the downside. So we have a lot of confluence on this pair to go down. Now let's go down to the daily time frame to see what we have. Now on the daily, the price is currently in this point, right? So what we can expect in the opening of the new trading with the price to go down up a little bit, and in this point on the lower time frame, let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. In this point, so this is the zone that on the 4-hour when the price will be coming here, because the price is likely to come here to complete a head and shoulder pattern and dropping to the downside. So this is the zone that where we will be looking for a potential short opportunity with a very good risk to reward ratio. Okay, now let's jump on to another currency pair, which is EURCHF. As usual, let's start with monthly time frame for EURCHF and let's see what kind of trading opportunity we have on this one. Now on the monthly, as you can see, EURCHF, first here it has created this reversal pattern. So this is a reversal pattern on the higher time frame, and after that what happened? Why? First of all, let me explain why it is a reversal pattern. See, there is a impulse to the upside, drop to the downside, and the buyers couldn't create any new higher high. Instead, the price has created a double top formation on the higher time frame, and that is why it's a reversal pattern. As a result, what we have seen, the price dropped aggressively to the downside. Now after this drop, what we have seen, that there is a retracement from the buyers. Now back to back 2 months, what we have seen, 2 candle, but the last month, that means the current month, the buyers couldn't make it through. The price went up to this resistance, and then now what we are seeing, the sellers pushing the price down. Now let's draw a resistance on this zone, because this is an important level of resistance. Why? Because see, there is a long wick candle here acted as a resistance, strong rejection to the downside. Now there is a green candle, narrow candle here acted as a support, and now what we have seen, that from the same area the price is dropping to the downside. So this is an important level of resistance. So from here, basically what we can expect is a drop to the downside. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what we have. Now on the weekly, we have a bit more clear picture. Now what we can see, what we are potentially to see, basically another push to the upside on the weekly, creating a head and shoulder pattern again to drop to the downside. Now this is already, you can see, an established downtrending market starting from here. So what we see that if you draw this trend line, the price basically came back to the trend line. Now this is a very common pattern in Forex, this head and shoulder pattern. Now at the same time, this current week, what we have seen that this red candle is basically a bearish engulfer. So when you see a bearish engulfer in the direction of the trend, is basically a high probability setup. Now it is unlikely that we will see straight down from here. Instead, we can see a retracement to the upside to creating a head and shoulder pattern along this line. Now let's draw a line on this level because this is the weekly important level. Now let's go down to the daily time frame to see what kind of opportunity we have. Now on the daily, as you can see, there is a one green candle here as well. This is also important level of support. So there is also a red candle here. So this level basically an important level of supports, and the price just above this support. So what we can see, let's go down to the 4-hour time frame now to how we can map out our trading plan. Now from here, as you see, this is a daily support, and this is where we can expect the price to move this week. So what we can see, early this week we will go for a long from here based on higher time frame to this zone, and this is a big move. If we take the stop loss below, this will be a big move, and from here when the price will go there, we will close our trade, and then we will wait for another price action pattern to take a short trade to this zone. Now in this week we can expect one push up and one push down, and the monthly close again in the same point, creating so let's go down to the up to the monthly to see what will happen. So what will happen basically on the monthly close, if we see one push up on the weekly same week and one push down, basically it will be like this. On the monthly we can see a pin bar, something like this, right? So something like this. So we can see a pin bar. That means the monthly price will basically continue. Another push will be in the new month, and then will continue. So that means on the 4-hour, how it will look like is basically like this. See, if we see on the same week and the monthly close here, another push will be there in the new trading week, creating a lower high from here, and then continuing to the downside, which is making clear sense of this pattern. See, so what do you see? Something like this. Okay, so the price normally move like this. That is clear in Forex market. Now EURCHF, that is likely to happen, and we may have a lot of trading opportunity over this up and down movement. Now let's jump on to another currency pair, which is NZDCAD, and then finally we will analyze gold at the last item. So make sure you stick till the end of this video. Now let's jump onto the NZDCAD. Let's start with the monthly time frame as usual in NZDCAD. Now on NZDCAD, what we have seen that the price basically back to back 3 months went up, created this high on the monthly, and after this what we are seeing that in the current month is still 5 days to go, the price retreat from here. Now what we are seeing that basically it is falling on the monthly, and we can see another push to this week to create maybe the price to come here as well, because overall NZDCAD is basically a downtrending market. Look at the top of this, though this is a historically uptrend, but look at this consolidation here. Okay, when it was consolidating, what we are seeing that every time it is creating a lower high. So, and at the same time what we have seen after this drop to the downside, the price retraced enough. So let's see how much it has basically retraced on the Fibonacci. Take your Fibonacci from the high to the low. What we have seen that basically NZDCAD retraced exactly 61.8% Fibonacci level, which is considered as golden ratio. Now from here what we can expect, a clear push to the downside, maybe to this level. It's a big move on the monthly. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what's happening. Now the weekly, what we see that, as I mentioned in my previous week's analysis, I told that the price will move exactly from here, and that is what exactly happened. Now at this point, what we can see that price already dropped here on the weekly. We might see little bit of retracement and another push to the downside, maybe to this level. Even to this level is a big move on the monthly. Now let's go down to the daily time frame to see what's happening. Now on the daily, what we are seeing that after the creation of double top formation, the price retraced a little bit and a drop. After this dodgy candle, the price seriously dropped to the downside. Now how we will be entering for a short trade for this another push to the downside? Now let's remember the price already approaching a level of support, so we might see a reaction from here. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. Now what we will be doing in the new trading week, basically we will be waiting for a little bit of retracement, and in this retracement what we will be looking for a lower high. As soon as on the 4-hour time frame we will see a lower high after this little bit of retracement, we will take a short trade from here at least to this level, because we can expect this price to move to this zone, and which will be a big move to the downside. Now if you find value in this analysis, do a favor for me, smash the like button, and let's start gold, how we can analyze gold. Now let's start with the monthly time frame as usual. Now on the gold, on the monthly time frame, as you can see that bigger picture, there has been a big impulse, and then we are seeing that slowly it is decelerating to the downside. Now a lot of people say many things. Someone saying gold will go up, someone say gold will go down. Let's see, narrowing down what might happen. Now first of all, look at this pattern here. The previous months has created this strong hanging man pattern on the gold. Now after this kind of hanging man pattern, what we can expect, a drop to the downside. Now if you are following me on TradingView or YouTube, I mentioned quite a few times when the price was here, the gold is dropping, and every time gold is doing according to the analysis I made, and hopefully this time also gold will behave in the same way. Now after this hanging man, what happened? The price this current month, what happened? The price basically broke this trend line on the monthly, went above, grabbed the liquidity, and then dropped to the downside. At this point the price is here, right? Still 5 days to go. What might happen is the price will drop from here to this level, and what we might see, a test of this monthly trend line and then push to the upside. So this is normally likely to happen, because this week will not be left alone. It's likely to test this week. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame to see what kind of opportunity we have. Now on the weekly, what we are seeing that after this bearish engulfer on the weekly from the level of resistance, what we are seeing had a drop, and this current week what we have seen, the price went up and finally dropped to the downside, created this dodgy pattern. Now at this point it is really complicated how gold will behave from here, because this pattern, you can say sometime it might be a reversal or it could be a continuation. So based on weekly, because we have the last week of the month, if the price want to create a pattern here, like if the price want to test this level, price has to come here and then move up. So what might happen, the price will come and test this level. Now at the same time, I want to show you something very important. Look at this here. See, this is the weekly chart, right? Look at this 2 weekly candle. there is let's draw a first trend line with this weekly candle. If we draw a trend line, only these two candles close enough, we can get a trend line like this, right? Now let's draw a trend line only between these two weekly candles. We can get a trend line like this. Why? Because see, these two, only if we compare these 2 weeks candle, what we can see that the buyers are stronger, right? It gets created a higher low, bigger than this one. Now if you compare these 2 weeks candle, what we can see that sellers a bit stronger. That's why we see a slope. Now what is likely to happen that when this price will drop, will create here another weekly candle or monthly candle, which will be something like this, because every time the time is passing, it is creating a lower high, something like this. And then from here, what we can expect, a push to the upside. Where it should go, it will go again to test this trend line. That's how market works, the experience says, because this zone should not be left without test, because this candles has not been tested yet. This zone is still not tested, because when the price came here, there is a long wick candle has not been tested. So what we might see, another push to the upside, testing this trend line, and then finally dropping and something like this, and finally making its move to the downside or upside. So there is a bit complicated structure. Okay, so let's see based on weekly how we can predict the movement. So first of all, there are 2-3 possible scenarios. The first possible scenario is on the weekly, we might see the price is moving here little bit on the body and then dropping to the downside. This is one possible scenario. So that means the first possible scenario is the price is moving from this line. Another possible scenario is the price is even crossing this weekly candle, testing this weekly close, or maybe testing this 20 period moving average and then dropping from here. Now let's see on the 4-hour time frame how we can find this trading opportunity. Now on the 4-hour, so if on the opening of the trading week, if we see that the price have just went above, tested this 20 period moving average, and on this test, if we see enough price action confirmation, that time we will go for a short from here, thinking that this is go down. This is the one possible scenario. On the other hand, if on the new opening of the trading week, if we see a complete bullish pattern, then we will be waiting to see it is likely to come to this zone, and we might see a drop from here. So what is likely to happen is we have to wait for the time, but these are the two zones that we will be watching our price action pattern carefully to see what happening. As I told you that the other pairs, say for example GBPNZD, we are almost very confident, but on the gold we have to see price action which way this is moving, because gold is likely to behave a bit differently this week. I sincerely believe that this analysis was helpful to you. If you find value in it, then don't forget to subscribe and also press the thumbs up button. It will be really helpful. Thank you for watching. See you soon with any other video.